Hey, peace and love reflections. Good day, good day, good day. How we doing today? Me, today is a very cold and rainy day today. So, been spending a lot of time inside today. Um, so I'm gonna be able to get a video or two in today. Today, we're gonna be talking about interpreting your astrological energy and a little more than that. Like interpreting information, how to positively use information for your benefit, things of this nature. Um, it's really a key that we start to understand and understand how to use these things for our benefit. So I'm talking with a lot of people, a lot of people who have been following me, been doing their astrology, getting their natal charts done, which is good. But I've been noticing that there's a lot of weird trends that we're coming from when we get these things. So I'm gonna do my best to try and help you guys to understand how to look at these things in a positive, constructive manner, right? The first thing you guys have to remember is that at no time really is knowledge of self bad for you, okay, in any sense of the form. So there's no form of knowledge of self that you can attain that is going to lead you down technically a wrong path. So what I like to say is consider yourself right now in a dark room, okay? The room's dark and you're sitting in the dark room and you just keep getting like punched like while you're sitting in this dark room, right? So you have really no clue about the things that are going on around you. Now, things like your astrological energy, understanding of your diet, things of this nature are ways that you can help turn on the lights a little bit in the room. That you can put on some glasses so that, or they're keys to open up certain doors. So at no time should you ever be scared or nervous when you look at your astrological energy, when you look at dieting, when you look at some occult information, because it's all about how you use the information. It's not about what the information is, it's what you put it towards that determines whether it's going to be good or not, right? So with the astrological energy, I get a lot of mixed feelings, right? A lot of people that are telling me, well, my chart is saying this, this, and this. It's telling me that my energies are here, here, and here, so I can't do these certain things, right? And that's where I need everyone to take a step back, right? So when you look at your chart, there should be nothing that you consider really negative or positive. It's just you, right? But the way you apply these tendencies, these principles that come out in your chart will determine what kind of ramifications you pull from it, right? So I used a example with one of my reflections recently. They're a Taurus, right? So they have a bullheadedness and obstinacy, things of this nature, right? So when I was speaking to them, I'm Aries Taurus cusp, so I have that as well. So what I say is that it depends on what you use your bullheadedness towards. If you use your bullheadedness towards the search for truth, the understanding of diet, the understanding of self, all these different things, you're not going to let people waver you off your path, right? However, if I think that drinking, partying, doing all this stuff is the truth and the way to go, I'm going to be bullheaded towards the wrong thing. So within the same exact energy, I could have a negative and positive effect, right? So it's you just have to be very mindful, right? Just because I have this energy doesn't mean that it needs to be bad, and also it doesn't mean that I need to allow it to overcome me. So it's like when you're going into a haunted labyrinth, right? If I was gonna walk into a haunted labyrinth, but I got to see the blueprint of where all the tricky beings and the scary turns were, would I be as afraid when I walked up to them? No. When I walked up to them, I could probably find a way around them, or I could just walk through stronger. So we have to start to understand and understand that when we get our charts done, right? It's telling you tendencies about yourself. It's telling you where those demons might be popping out, where things might be coming in. So now in your day to day life, you can be a little bit more understanding and you can have a little bit more of an idea of where these things are coming from, right? I can see now more, okay, this is kind of, you can find a good and bad in anything. Exactly. There's always good and bad because we are all good and bad, right? We're made of everything. You are all things. So you're good and bad in yourself, but it's just how you choose to apply yourself. It's where you choose to apply your energy. It's where you choose to put your attention on. If everything that I look at for myself is I look at in a negative context, of course everything is going to defeat me. Like if I use if I look into my diet, if I look into understanding of health, and I look at it as I can't do any of this, I'm going to feel defeated by this information, right? No good information should ever make you feel weak. It should always make you feel strong, right? Knowledge of self is strengthening, it's empowering, right? So when I start to get this knowledge of self through astrology, I shouldn't be like, damn, I don't think I should, like, I wish I wasn't like that. I wish I wasn't, or not like it. A lot of people don't, when you hear people and you talk to people, I've noticed, that don't think their chart resonates with them is because they don't like what they see, right? That's not a bad thing. If you don't like what you see, then you got to really sit back and think, well, where do these tendencies fall into my life? Is it exactly how it is in the chart, or am I kind of mastering that, right? And then on a whole nother level, once I know and I see what I tend to do and where my tendencies are, I can hijack my astrological energy. I can then come above my energy. I can come above my chart. So now I'm every time I walk into a certain situation, oh, I know I'm gonna act like this in this situation. I'm gonna do this instead, right? But it's not until you have the understanding of where it is that I can start to maneuver myself on one side of it or the other. So you have to be smart. Astrological charts give tendencies. They give basic breakdowns of like your personality and things you're going through in your life. The only way that those things can tell you about how your parents and stuff like that, like your relationship with them, that's a strange thing, right? So you have to be able to then look at these things and apply them properly, right? I have to be able to hijack my code. And so like when you see that you tend to help others, you tend to do things like the way to become successful in life is to read your chart, see the things that really apply to you right now, and then just align yourself in a spot where like that will help you out, right? So I have this key to nurture. I like nurture like my work. My Mars and my Moon are in the 10th house in Cancer. So I have a nurturing effect. I get very emotional with it. Centered in that, right? I'm centered in protection, things of this nature, right? So my idea of an ideal work is working for the good of people, working with helping people. I'm like my Libra's ascendant, so I can teach. So like I want to be able to teach people about helping themselves and nurturing themselves and doing all these different things. So I have to put myself in a, but also I'm very apt to falling into certain people's emotions. When I'm around certain emotional people, I can feel that. Like I get very drawn in by certain emotions. I can get wavered from like where I'm at, and like my health can suffer because of it. So I have to be able to isolate myself too and do all these different things. So what do? I'm able to, now that I understand these things about myself, then I can look back on my life and see where it applied. Now I can align myself in a position to give people the proper help for themselves, and me to align myself in a position where I'll be happy, and I'm playing out some of the codes in my astrological chart. Now, with that being said, I can also hijack it as well. I can know that, okay, I have a tendency to feel this way, so now I know to detach from certain situations. I know to detach from certain peoples. I know how to detach from certain areas and things of that nature. When I do that, now I'm taking my energy into my own hands. I'm not sitting in the room getting punched like a punching bag. I'm now able to throw the first shots, the preemptive strikes on what this is all about, right? So that's what you have to start to understand. Astrological charts, knowledge of diet, knowledge of health, all these things should never make you feel weak. It's empowering, right? You should always feel empowered by knowledge of self. Knowledge of self does not take you steps back, it should take you 3 steps forward, right? And you should never let it be that. If you're letting it be that, it's because you're not looking at it properly and you're not looking to apply it into your life. If you're looking to apply this knowledge, it's going to help you move forward. If you're looking to really look into your tendencies, really appreciate and see where you're at, you're only going to move forward. You're never going to take steps back. And that's why I get nervous when some people come at me with their energies and they're worried about things. I say, how are you looking at this stuff? You should never be afraid of knowledge of self. Never be afraid of that stuff. It's only to be empowering. It's only to give you power to move in the room full of like, right, how to move in a room full of criminals. You see a lot of people out there, they don't know how to handle themselves. They don't know why they're going through this. They don't know why they're bringing certain energies into their life. Like, I know why, like, finally, that I bring, like, it took me to read my astrological report to know why I always bring needy people into my life. Because I'm a nurturer, and naturally, people see that in me. Like it says right in my report, people come to you for things, and like they do. They're always like people, sick people coming to me. When I walk down the street, I can walk down with people. Homeless people will come right to me to talk to me, ask me questions, ask me about, like, it's very weird. And my whole life I was like, oh, they must just see something. It's because I'm tall. It's because I'm this and this. Then I read on my phone like, nah, that's not why. Because that's my energies. I'm gonna bring that stuff into my life. So now I have to be more guarded. Now when I go into these certain situations, it's like, I already know why you're coming. I already know why you're calling me. I already know why this is happening. So I gotta be mindful now. I gotta say, nah. Before that even happens, I'm gonna cut that off, right? So you guys have to start looking at your astrological energy, looking at your reports, looking at your knowledge of self as ways and sources of strength, ways to help illuminate this path, because we're all on the path, right? We're all on certain journeys and paths in life, but we need to use as many tools as we can. That's why they call them the keys. Like, these are opening doors to your house. Like, if I'm sitting in only one room in my house my whole life, it's hard for me to really get a sense of where I'm at, right? If I'm sitting in the room in the middle of my house with no windows, I don't know even where I'm at in this place. But every time I get a piece of information, it should be a key to open a door to move closer to that outside, right? I'm in the middle of the room, I get knowledge of diet. Now I open a door that pushes me out one place, right? Now I'm sitting there, I get some knowledge about meditation, how to properly meditate and get centered and things like that. Boom, that opens another door. Astrology, boom, that opens another door. Now you can keep moving throughout. And you're getting to the point where I can look at the windows. Now I'm at the windows. I'm looking out and I can see my vision, see where I can go, and now I have the tools to get myself there, right? But you should never look at anything and any of this information as scary. Information on proper dieting should never be scary and overwhelming. It should be exciting and empowering. When you're looking at it as scary and overwhelming, that tells me that you're not looking at it proper, that you're not willing to act on, and you don't have the willpower to impose that knowledge and go out and place that knowledge in the world and do something with it, right? Because you never, like, no time is too much knowledge a bad thing. Too much knowledge is never a bad thing. It's unapplied knowledge that's a bad thing. That's when you get anxious, right? I get anxious when I know there's something I have to do, but I just keep doing the same thing. That makes me anxious. Thinking about the future and things that I can't control, that makes me anxious, right? Once I get knowledge that helps me get into control, that shouldn't make me anxious. That just means that I have no use and I have no thoughts of applying that to proper use, right? So this was just a quick check-in for some of you people, because I'm getting people who are actually going out and doing their natal charts. They're doing it, and that's lovely. Keep doing your natal charts. Do your natal charts, get that knowledge yourself, right? Just because you have things that you may look at and see as bad information or a bad quality, there's no such thing as a bad quality of you. Love yourself. I love myself. I don't have bad qualities. It's just how I use these tendencies that can be bad or good. Just like how I use my bullheadedness, I use my energy, I use my nurturing. If I'm trying to nurture bad people, then I'm using my and people are like, oh, bro, like, your energy's cool, you want to nurture people, you want to do this. No, if I'm nurturing bad people, then it's not good energy. I'm not using my energy properly. The tendency is not a good tendency, right? But if I'm nurturing good people and I'm in a good spot to nurture myself, then that I'm using that energy properly, right? So even things that you think are good can be bad. Oh, it says I'm loyal, but who are you loyal to? Are you loyal to bad people? Are you loyal to people doing the wrong things? Are you loyal to people who have bad principles? Well, then your loyalty doesn't make any sense. It doesn't mean anything, right? So it's not just about the energy. It's about how you use it, the tendency where you put it, the morals and principles you have, right? So you got to look at your energy as only a source of power. Energy should never make you scared of the world out there and make you not able to conquer that. Your astrological energy and an understanding of self should make you be able to conquer that world. Be able to go out there and do what you want to do, to put your imprint on it. Hijack your astrological coding. Use it for your advantage. Not come in and sit in the room and get shadow boxed. You don't want to get shadow boxed. You shouldn't, and you never get shadow boxed if you use your energy properly, right? Because it's in all of us to have the strength to do these amazing things. All of us have the power to go out and take control of our lives. All of us have the power to take control of our mental states, to take control of the tendencies and the people around us, right? You have the power, not in a manipulative manner, but in a controlling, power, empowering manner for yourself, right? So use this energy as a way to go do that. Use this knowledge of self as a way to do that. Use this information that we're getting nowadays. Use the information that I'm giving you. Use all this stuff to go out and empower yourself. Don't be afraid. I don't want to see any more like messages and people talking about, yo, that stuff that you say is cool but it's scary. No, it shouldn't be scary. It should just open your eyes and make you want to move forward, make you want to act, not make you be scared. Scared means I'm going to stay still. Once I see something, I want to act on it. I want to invoke my will. Then I want to get better, right? So get warm, stay warm today, right? This is a cold day. It's a rainy day for us up in the Northeast. Read your energy, right? Go read your astrological chart. Go read it, read it, read it, read it, and think, 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 think. Read it every day. If you when you wake up in the morning, you should read your natal chart and your chart report, right? Read your report every day when you wake up in the morning. Then see how that tendency plays out every day. Tell me after a week if you don't see like all those tendencies in yourself, if you don't see yourself wavering in between them, then will know how you can take a step ahead of it and then start foreseeing things before it happens. Get a strong firm, get base, and then start moving out here. Um, and that's it for today. I just wanted to get in on this. I've been having conversations with people because a lot of people around me are starting to get their charts done and they want to talk to me about it, and that's cool, right? But I don't want anyone talking to me about their charts in a negative manner. No knowledge of self should be negative. No information should be negative. It's just the application of the information that makes it negative or positive. If you get information and you know it's good but you don't know how to apply it, then it's bad. But if you get good information and you're trying to apply it and you're trying to learn, then it's always good information, right? And you can know, everyone knows when it's bad information. You know when this information is going to lead you down the wrong path, right? Like whoever told you drinking was the only source of fun and going out, that was information leading you towards the wrong path. Why? Because when you wake up after drinking, you never feel good. You never feel better about yourself. You never feel empowered. That's the problem. So, but if I get knowledge on the proper diet and I start to apply that knowledge, right, I always feel better. So that's good information. It's my body tells me that there's good information. So look at the information. Once you apply information, you always find out if it's good or bad information, but you can't be afraid to apply it. You can't be afraid to really look at it. You can't be afraid to step back and look at your tendencies objectively. I can't be afraid if my astrological energy is saying something a little weird in there that I have to sit back and then get on myself. Let myself know that I understand that some of this is me. This is me. It might not be to the full extent that that tendency is showing me on this chart, but I bet I expressed this tendency at some point in my life because we are all of that stuff. Because if you look out into today's society, we are everything we see as well. So if I'm everything I see and my chart starts to explain certain things that I'm seeing a lot within society, that's telling me that I'm supposed to be seeing this stuff in society to teach me a lesson, right? It's teaching you a lesson. It's teaching you about yourself. All of these things are teaching you about yourself. We couldn't have the things we have in society if we didn't all have a part of it within us, right? So understand your astrology, understand your astrological energy, understand it, right? Understand it, comprehend it, understand it, bring it inside and really internalize it. View your tendencies, look at your tendencies, but never look at anything as negative, because once you know it, you can work with it. You can use the tendency for good. When I don't know what it is, when I don't know what my tendencies are, when I don't know how I respond to things, then everything's negative, everything's scary. Once I know my tendencies, then I can know how to properly apply it. And once I know how to properly apply it, then I become the master of myself, and then I can start invoking my energy on places and placing and doing preemptive strikes on what's going on around instead of just sitting back and letting all this stuff affect me. But stay warm today. Read your charts. I love you all. I love myself, especially, right? I love myself. If you haven't told yourself that today, tell yourself you love yourself. Let yourself know because it deserves to be known too. You deserve to tell yourself you love yourself. Do some positive affirmations today. Get some meditation done. Today's a good day for you guys up here to start off on something good. I'm beginning a 3-day fast today, so some water fast, getting my vessel clean. You got a lot of crazy things coming up, a lot of good energy. Just trying to get myself vibrating the proper rate. Did a nice fast last week. Been on this fruitarian life. It's getting crazy. It's cold out here for this. So if you're someone who's been going through the Northeast fruitarian transfer, bundle up, right? If you're thinking about doing it, make sure you get some warm clothes and get yourself ready to get to some tropical environments so you get some heat, right? 'Cause it gets cold out here when you're eating fruit. Um, but anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today, right? Don't be afraid of knowledge of self. It only empowers you. Have a great day.